Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soulful Eclectic. I am your host, Diana Collins, and I want to welcome you to today's episode. If you have not joined us before, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us today. I appreciate you so much. Tell a friend, share, whatever you need to do. It doesn't cost you anything to share it, so please do share. And if you are coming back, hell, what am I going to say? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And thank you for taking the time out for coming back. Okay. For number one, showing up, because we all know showing up is always the hardest thing to do. And then showing up for support and someone else is, I don't know why people find it a struggle, but sometimes it can be a struggle for people to show up. So I appreciate you. And I want you to know I appreciate you taking the time out to show up for me and sharing it. For those of you who have shared the broadcast, I appreciate you so much for doing that. Getting it out there is key. And you know what? Sharing is caring. What the hell can I say? Also, if you have not downloaded the WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV app to your phones, please do, because I'm telling you, I've been jamming since I joined the station. Okay, I've listened to songs that I haven't heard since back in the day, and I'm talking about in the 80s and 70s, stuff my mom, my aunts, my dad used to play, stuff that we used to hear in the car rides going, to trips and things like that. Whatever, it's everything. And also of today's music, like I said, we listen to Beyonce too, so you get some that too. You get some rock, get some country, you get all the genres all up in there. If you guys have any songs that you want to hear played on the radio, please do share with me. I've had a couple of people send me like, hey, you guys, can you play this, can you do this? If it's clean, I think we have some kind of, hey, we listen to Luke Skywalker, for God's sakes. Okay. Don't stop, get it the whole bit. So just send it. Okay, that's all I can say, because these lunch hours have been jamming. I just, the DJs have been off the hook. So I appreciate all the DJs that are on the station. So please give them all some love. Even our other shows that are on, please show them some love. Go to Roku. If you have a Roku TV, download the app. Definitely. And it's international. So if you have friends and family in other countries, please do share and let us know if they are able to rock out and dance it out with us over in another country, because I would love to know that. My international friends are on this side, so I don't have anyone to reach out on that side. So please do share and let us know how that all plays out. I just love to hear it. So yes, and we're on all the other streaming platforms as well, so don't forget that. So definitely you can let your friends and families know that they can catch the podcast on any of their streaming platforms that are out there if they do desire. Again, sharing is caring. We don't know what the other person may want to hear and don't want to hear, so there you go. Sponsors, thank you so much to our favorite sponsor, it's my favorite because guess what? It's mine. So Divine Nubian Essentials. So let me tell you guys, I'm going to share this a wonderful story with you because it is a wonderful story. That is my hand. And I did burn my hand, and I'm going to say eating a tortilla because that's exactly what the hell I was doing. I was just too greedy to wait for it to cool down. So I hit a steam pocket and burned my hand pretty bad. So I use actually, this is the product I use, these two products here, Goddess Kiss and Goddess Touch is the product that I use to heal my hand. Goddess Touch I use on my face every morning. It's a facial moisturizer that I created. So I use it every morning to help heal my skin. But yeah, that's my hands. And that's just it. Try it. If you like it, thank you. If you don't, thank you for trying it and let me know what you didn't like about it. If you guys are so inclined and you need something to do in April, we are going to be at the Royal Tea Party in Tempe. So it's at the Culinary Dropout in Tempe, April 14th in the afternoon. 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, excuse me, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's really hard to see the time on there. So it's April 14th at 2 p.m. at the Culinary Dropout. And it's in support of the dance troupe in Phoenix. Point. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Kara. I forgot the name of the dance troupe. But when you guys sign up, if you're interested in the royalty, it'll tell you where the money is going. And it is a great contribution to help those of us in the Black and Brown community and beyond, and those who are wanting to learn to dance. This is a great organization that they do, and they do a royal tea party every year. And this year's theme is Bridgerton. So if you decide that you're going to join us on the 14th, please dress to impress. It's a tea party, and you're expected to dress as if you're going to a tea. So therefore, and the theme is Bridgerton. So therefore, you are going to wear your best. Okay, Sunday's best, whatever you have, just dust it off and come on out and see what it's all about. And there's the QR code should you so desire to check us out. And just as a sidebar for anyone who is out and about here in Tucson, I will be at a pop-up shop this Saturday evening, which is March 9th at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I will be at 6464 Tonque Verde behind the Ombre Cafe here in Tucson. So please, if you're in the area in Tucson and you want to drop by, please do and see what it's all about. This is the first pop-up here that I've done this year. So I'm interested myself to see how it all goes out. So please feel free to join us. All right. So I'm just going to get right into it because this is the topic of the day. So today I want to talk about friendships, and it comes to mind to me because I had a nice long conversation with a dear friend of mine, and it was disheartening to hear that there was like a riff with another friend of ours in the same said group, whom I've all met these people around the same time. Right. So it did like break my heart to hear that there was another riff in our troop here. But anyways, so when I had that conversation, it did break my heart. And because, we as women and women of color, women, who are trying to strive to do better for ourselves and create a better bond than what has been created for us in the past years, it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. So I came across this quote that you guys see up here. A friend who becomes an enemy after a little misunderstanding has been an enemy all along. And I'm just going to leave that right there for just a quick second, because that rings kind of home to me. I really don't have. I have, if as my husband would say, he says, you have a lot of friends. And I said, don't use that term to everybody, right? Because everybody you meet is not your friend. It's just one of those things. And it just goes back to things your mom said to you growing up. Everybody that you said is your friend is not always your friend, kind of thing. So that always stuck with me, especially since I've been burned a lot growing up as a kid. I told you guys early on in my years, I was bullied growing up. And yeah, I went to Catholic school. And whoever says you don't get bullied in Catholic school, that's bullshit. Yes, you get bullied in Catholic school. But anyways, I digress. But I did not have like real friends. So I always envy those people who say, yeah, we've been through kindergarten together. We were in first grade together and we've been friends ever since. And it's like, yeah, I don't have that. And it's okay. I'm not saying it for like a pity party or anything. I'm just saying not everybody has that. And I'm one of those people that does not have that. And it's not due to the fact that I did not try to cultivate those types of relationships. It just wasn't a place and a time to cultivate those things because we were always attacking one another, picking apart each other, finding a reason to keep us divided. And so therefore, you never really were able to develop those strong bonds for me back then. Again, speaking from my perspective, not from, anyone else's perspective, because like I said, there are people who have friends for many, many years. And like I said, God bless them that they're tight as, thick as thieves. And, that's my ace. God bless you. I don't have that. But speaking from my experience, that saying brings back brings it back home, right? A friend who becomes an enemy after a while, a little misunderstanding, has always been an enemy all along, because that usually is what happens. Something you said, didn't resonate with that person, and all of a sudden, you're not my friend. We stop talking, you hear them backbiting you over here in this conversation, you hear them backbiting you in this conversation. And that always kind of struck me as odd, because it's one of those things where I listen. I listen. And even though I'm listening and I'm not, I'm like, oh, wow, dang. Yeah, I am paying attention, because I always think I'm going to have discourse with people. I'm telling you, there are people that you would never know that we are not tight like that ever, because it's not necessary. It really isn't necessary. Because to me, if there was something about you that I found that to be of a friend, and you cross me, and you only get to cross me once, yeah, I will distance myself from you. But again, there was something that drew me to you to begin with, to make me say that you're my friend. So I'm going to keep you at a distance, and I'm just going to continue to watch. I'm going to watch and listen, right? Watch and listen. And I remember, I think if you guys remember me saying, I use the term sister very, I hold it dear to me, so I don't use it for everybody. I don't use it for everybody. So if I call you my sister, I am treating you as such. Okay. I'm going to check in on you. I'm going to do what I need to do, whatever I can do to help you within reason. I'm going to show up for you. You are my sister, and that's how I see you. Um, if I just label you as friend, then that means you're a friend. Like, there's something about you that resonates with myself, and therefore I'm going to have conversation with you periodically. We may not hang out, we may do hang out. It all depends on the situation and where we are in our conversations, right? So it strikes me as interesting when you see women and men who call each other bro and sis, and one little thing takes them to the other side of, like, and start bad mouthing that other person. I don't get that. It just doesn't sit right with me, because then at that point I'm looking at you as to, then you never thought of that person as a friend. You always saw something about them that wasn't going to jive with you, and you just found the reason to break it apart. In my perspective, again, this is all my perspective, breaking that down, right? Again, I just telling you how I see it and how I view it from my perspective. And you can agree or disagree, that's okay. We all have that right? But yes, so with that, I'm thinking, hmm, it takes me back to a couple of situations that I've dealt with, um, as I'm growing, right? So I have this friend. I had this friend, and I only say had because she passed away um, a few years ago. But I had this friend, and she and I were really close. Like, our daughters had the same name, a year apart. So we would, like, hang out. I met her through work, and we would just chill. And it's one of those things that, as we start to get closer, she would watch my kids, I would watch her daughter. We would hang out, do lunch together, all these things, play dates with the kids, all those great things that single moms do, right? So she decided, she hadn't dated in a while. And then all of a sudden, she started dating a guy, Right. And it was a nice guy. We were so happy for her. I was like, yes, you go, girl. And I was her biggest cheerleader in the whole thing. And then, we also worked together. As I said, we met at work. So we worked together. And so I think one day she like took a day off or something, right? And I was like, yay, she took a day off. She's doing her, entertaining herself, whatever. And then the guys at the work, the ladies at work was like, "Oh yeah, she took the day off. Good for her." I was like, "Yeah, she's probably hanging out with her, her new bull um guy that she's dating, and I'm so good for her, and she needs it, and because we were all a family, we were all very supportive, and they were excited, like, oh my gosh, good for her, and yes, can't wait to hear about him, and and she did eventually tell them all about him, but it wasn't out of malice on my end. I was like, yes, she's got somebody, because we were all really worried about her, because she just kind of focused on her daughter and just kind of didn't do much for herself. So we were all excited for her. No one was talking about her behind her back. No one in the office, not me, not anybody. And I would be the first one to share that, because there's no point in me lying about it, right? But anyway, so then one of the young ladies said, "Oh, good for you. I heard you got a, dating somebody, and congratulations. Why don't you tell me about him?" And then she immediately came to me and was like, "You were talking, coverage about me." I was like, "No." I was like, "I was genuinely excited for you." I was like, "There's nothing I said that was out of malice." I said, "I was just saying that you had a good time and you're seeing this guy and you're happy. What was wrong with that?" Well, let me tell you something, guys. Um, it got ugly really fast. So now I'm thinking like, well, shit, I must not have never been your damn friend, because now you're not talking to me. Here we are, Hank, our kids became friends. And now I got to tell my daughter, oh, you can't go over there because, she's not, she busy. I'm not gonna sit here and tell her the whole business on why you don't want her to come over, or you're not answering my phone calls or anything like that, because again, that's not a kid's place. um but I did, it's like, hey, I would still reach out to figure out what's happening, and I even offer, it's like, would you just talk to me, what the hell happened? And she wouldn't. And then it, resonated into work. It kind of like, just like, she wouldn't give me work calls. She would, avoid having to give me consults and things like that. So at some point I just said, enough, because now you impacted my job. And when you start messing with my money, mm-mm, Diana ain't happy. Okay. So I actually, big ups to me, okay, because I am not the confrontational person. I really not. I will slide under the radar for as long as I can, and will not confront anyone on anything. So for me to do this, I was really proud of myself. It did kind of give me a little bit of anxiety, but it needed to be done. And so I just kind of put on my big girl pants and I just said, let's do it. So I actually had everybody come in the office, and it's a small office, a group of women. I think we got one male doc. The rest of us were women, and it was maybe like six of us, 5 or 6 of us in that office. And so I said, come, I gathered everybody and I said, look, I don't know what happened and why it happened and why all of a sudden you and I are not vibing as friends. I said, you know what, that's okay. You figure it out, whatever. I said, I will say this in front of everybody. What I said out of love and respect for you. It was not done out of malice. And if you feel that way about it, I can't take I it is what it is, that's on you. But what you will not do is impact my work. And what's happening is you're impacting my work because you're not giving me the information that I need to do my job. And therefore, if I get fired because you're not giving me my information, there's going to be a huge problem. So therefore, I think we need to figure this out. We don't have to do anything outside of work. I do hope that you at least let the kids still play, because what's going on between us has nothing to do with the children or our jobs. So that being said, whatever. And everybody else in the office was like confused. Was like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. I said, if she cares to say what it is, That's on her. I said, but I just think I needed to say that because this is my job. I come here every day, and until I decide to get a new one, I'm here. All right. So we hashed that out. We squashed that out. Um and interesting enough, over the time we rebuilt that friendship again. And honestly, it was never where it was to begin with. It was always like just on some cordial kind of friendship. So again, it just went to a friendship. It stopped being a sisterhood and was a friendship. And again, it was okay. I loved her. She was a part of our lives, and that's where it was. So, and up until the day she passed on, I I still called her, I still checked on her, see how she was doing, and it did break my heart when she passed. So, and her daughter, I still periodically will send her daughter messages to see how she's doing. Both her daughters, um, messages to see how she's doing and things like that. So yeah, so friendships are wacky, but when you get one and then it starts as a great friendship, and then all of a sudden one thing changes it to that caliber, you do start to wonder if it was truly that sisterhood, if it was a true connecting friendship. And so um yeah, so it just it that seeing that come across my feed, I'm gonna put it up again, but seeing it that come across my feed was just very interesting, you know. And then the part, say at the end, they were just pretending to be your friend. What the hell? You don't need to pretend. I don't want you to pretend to be my friend. Listen, if you like me and you respect me, then cool. We could be friends. We can be bros and sisters and so forth and so on. But don't pretend. What are you getting? What are you getting from the connection and from pretending? And I say that loosely because people do get something from you, because when people pretend to be your friend, it's because they want something from you. You have something that they want and that they cherish and that they want to get from you. So they're going to pretend to have that closeness. So I get it. I get it. Why people pretend to be a friend. I know I say, I don't know why people, but I see why people pretend to be friends with other people. Literally see it. Um and it's sad, because I used to tell my like my daughter, my youngest daughter. I think she talked about this too with her friendship. She did. And that broke my heart when her friend stopped being her sister. Her best friend stopped being her sister, and her sister stopped being her sister, for whatever the reasons. And again, even though they're blood and one was blood and one was not blood, it still broke her heart equally the same. And I felt her pain because it's nothing like that sisterhood, that bond, that if I'm in duress, and yeah, my husband is my best friend, but sometimes you don't want to tell your husband some things. Even though you probably end up telling him at some point, but right then in the heat of it, when you want to break it down, you want that girlfriend, you want that female friend, you want that sister you can have that conversation with. And when that bond is broken, God, you left in like this limbo kind of space. And I it's hard to get back from there. And it's hard to trust to build that relationship with someone else too. Let me put that out there. It's hard to build that again, because you're going to continuously look at people and question their intentions with you. What are you trying to get out of me? And me, some days I can be very naive when it comes to meeting people. I know this. I'm that caring, empathic individual, and until you hurt me, I'm going to be loyal, the loyalist person to you. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because again, I'm loyal to a fault. I'm honest to a fault, and therefore, um, my patience Though as I'm getting older, my patience is getting a little thinner and shorter. But when I was younger, my patience was very strong. I had a lot of patience. Um, Even through having children, I still had a lot of patience as well. But yeah, so it's a struggle, and and to debunk this theory that men can't be friends with women because they always want to sleep with them, that's BS. Okay. You have some people who believe that, and I think I heard it from, I think, either Steve Harvey or one of the comedians who said that men can't be friends with women, and that's not true. I got bros out here, little bros, big bros, you name it, that are out here, um, that are genuine friends. I can call them and say, my husband being a jackass right now, and he'd be like, "Yeah, give him a break." Yeah, he's all right. He had a rough day or whatever. Um, you have those, okay? Especially working in the film industry, you develop those friendships, and and that's important. It's important to have friends of different sexes, different cultures, different ethnicities, and different ages, because it gives you different perspectives on different things when you have issues, when you have conflict, when you're having a conversation. Um, it gets really dicey when it comes to political views. I've had friends and or people that I considered friends with, different political views, and the conversations can get a little sketchy. Just saying. So that's always a choice up to anybody. I just choose not to talk about politics with certain individuals. Like there are certain people that I will go deep into politics because it's that understanding that we're talking and giving each other's opinions and perspectives on different things. Um, and we're hearing to learn and we're to grow, right? So, and that's the difference. When you're listening to argue, then you're not listening, and you're not going to grow. So I love that there are certain people who I can have those conversations with, and then there's certain people that I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I love them dearly, but I would not touch that topic with them. Not. Mm-mm. I know there was a rule back in the day where they used to say, you with friends, you don't discuss politics or religion, politics and sexual orientation. Ooh, those were the three major things that you don't talk to friends with, because those are friendship killers. But my thing is this: if having those three conversations kills a friendship, then it really wasn't a friendship to begin with, because I should be able to talk to you about whatever as my friend. And if I can't, then you're not my friend, you're not my sister, you're an associate. You're just somebody who floats in and floats out, an associate. Somebody I work with, somebody who share a common interest of sorts or whatever, but you're truly not a friend. You're truly not my sister, my brother. You're just an associate. And like I said, there's levels to friendships. There's different levels to friendships. You got some friends that are in that tight circle, some friends that are in that outer circle, some friends that don't even make it to the circle. But that's okay. I love that country song. Friends in low places. You got friends from all over. I got friends from all over, and that's okay. And even though I think some places are trying to get away from saying code switching. But I'm still going to use it because it's relevant to me. So you code switch with your friends, do you not? Bet you do. I know I do. I'm gonna be honest. I code switch quick, fast, and in a hurry. And depending on the conversation, I can get hood quick. Okay. It just kind of falls out. I'm that person that my kids used to say they don't know who they're going to come across because I pick up accents, I pick up cultures, and I pick up different things that I appreciate about people and where they're from very easily. And so when I'm having conversations with said cultural groups, said ethnicity, said, you know, group of individuals, I tend to jump right into that whole attitude, that whole mentality really quick. Um, to the point that I can even simulate the accent of the individual. And depending on where I am emotionally, it comes out. It's really interesting, and I don't do it in malice. Again, it's all out of love and appreciation. So if I told my therapist, who I think she's Filipino, and but she has like a little bit of a Spanish twang in her accent. And so when I talk to her, sometimes I can sound like her, and I have to tell her, I was like, I'm sorry, I am not mimicking you. This is just me when I get comfortable with someone and they're from another culture, I pick it up so easy. Um, it's appreciation for that person. If I'm not picking up your dialect, I don't care about you. I'm not caring about the conversation. I'm just really not paying attention. But if I'm paying attention and I am engaged in that conversation, you better believe I'm picking up that dialect and we're vibing like nobody's business. And I love it. I love it. I love people. As much as I people in my circle will say, I hate talking, I hate people. I really do love people. People are interesting. All right. I love to travel to meet new people because their stories are amazing. Where they grow up is amazing. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And I think we should do it more often. So that's why I said you should have friends from different cultures, different ethnicities, different religions, even. If you're safe to have that conversation with individuals from different religions, it's always good to talk about that too, because you'll have some similarities and you have some differences for sure. But it's always good to get perspectives from different um, spaces. And also different ages, because you get that culture, that age gap kind of knowledge too. I didn't know how else to say it besides age gap knowledge, but you get a perspective different from different generations. I said generations, from different generations. So that's good too. Uh, I appreciate it. I don't know about anybody else, but I do appreciate it, to have it. So definitely. But yes, so the next thing I want to talk about, because it came across and I mentioned it before. I think I heard someone else say it was sent to them. I don't remember who. I listen to so much TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Reels. I need to stay the hell off of freaking social media. Let's be honest. But let me share this other thing with you really quickly. So this one, I it hit home. I loved it. Ti, I don't know where he got it from. If it's something he said, he may have got it. It may have been a quote somewhere. I did not honestly do my due diligence to investigate if it belonged to somebody. It probably does, but I did not do that. So I heard it and saw it from Ti saying it in a podcast. I heard it from him telling it to someone else, who said he had a conversation with Ti and this is what he said and it resonated with him. So I am sharing it with you all, too, because it does, it resonates with me. So you know how we are all able to take our friendships, and we, for those of us who are really caring and altruistic individuals, especially those of us who work in healthcare, those who are caring for other people, we are always trying to help someone else, right? Even if we get hurt by this person, these people, we are always trying to help because we are helpers. We're givers, some of us, just in our very nature, nurture versus nature, right? So some of us are very nurturing, and I'm one of those people who are very nurturing, right? So in that, we always want to take those people that we met and help pull them up by the bootstraps, help them as much as we can. Um, and as I said, I don't have friends from middle school. I thought I had to sneeze, excuse me. From middle school, high school, or anything like that. I don't want to. I don't like to call them friends because I don't. I mean, we don't know too much about each other anymore. I mean, I watch you on Facebook because we went to the same high school. We were friends at some point in high school, and then life. But yeah, nothing that was rekindled where I found your Facebook, give me your number, we rekindled the friendship. It was none of that. But anyways, I digress. So yes, so we always want to help those people. And I love this because if we grew up in a neighborhood, a lot of us have those friendships and we like, oh, that's been my boy since, we were living in the same hood, whatever. That's my girl. We went to, if that person is still doing the same thing that they were doing back in the 90s, and here we are in 2024, and they still, act running the streets, drinking, smoking, don't have a real direction of where their life is going, and nothing much has changed, then you might need to move on. All right. You might need to move on because at this point, you're going backwards instead of forwards. So I think I love this saying again, trees don't hang around with the grass, even though they came and they started in the same place, right? So even though you all are friends and you grew up in the same place, you had the same friends, it might even be your family, your cousins, your brother, whatever. Even though you guys were rooted together, and your roots still run deep, right? Because grass still is rooted there, even though you the tree and you're growing up here, and grass is still rooted down there. Y'all still rooted together, but it doesn't mean you're still down there together, right? That tree is growing and continues to grow, branch off, grow leaves, grow taller. It's not going to go back down to the grass because they have roots together. It's not. It's not going to come back and shrink itself down and say, hey, homie, I'm here for you. No, it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. So if you are that tree, you can't go back down there to that grass. If that grass is meant to be little long, short hair bluegrass, it's going to be short. It ain't going to do nothing. All right. Your roots are still connected. And yes, through your roots, you can communicate. Yes, you will. Yes, you will communicate because your roots are still there. But you're at different levels. You leveled up. And though the grass is meant to stay at that level, maybe it might get mid high, but that's where they're destined to be. And that's okay. Everyone's not meant to be a tree, and everyone's not meant to be grass. We all are meant to be something else, okay? But it doesn't mean that we have to. Did I say the other day? I didn't have to dim my light so that you can shine. No, we both can shine. We can shine together. And that's what I love about the group of friends that I have, the sisters that I have in my circle. We shine together. We lift each other up. And I think that's what hurt my heart the most when someone in my circle with someone else decided to like break that bond. And I'm like, how do we get here? How? and we're supposed to be here straightening each other's crown. Mm, but you're busy over here knocking it off and twisting it off because of what one other reason or another. I don't go into it. I don't want to say I don't care because I do care. As you can see, I care. But I don't want to, I don't know what happened, and it breaks my heart. But the thing is, again, I'm going to do right by you until you do wrong by me. And then all bets are off. And then, it is what it is. And then, like I said, some people, we have friends who are there for specific reasons, and it doesn't mean they're any less of a friend. Hell no, no. I value, if I'm calling you friend, if I'm calling you sis, I value you. There's something in you that I value. Now, if I call you an associate, um, yeah, we kind of just like fly by night. Hey, yeah, we're at the same place. Yay, how you doing? Checking in really quick, and we're moving on. We're not friends. We're an associate. I associate with you when we're out in a venue, and then that breaks our association. Typically, with associates, you probably don't have each other's phone number, or if you do have each other's phone number, you probably have never used it since the day they gave it to you. And that's okay. Again, then you do you. We're all individuals. We all have our place. We all have our thing. And um, I tell people I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. That's okay. I have people that probably would say, "Oh gosh, I can't stand her. I don't like her," and that's okay. Because 9 times out of 10, they did something to me that made me show them a different side of me that makes them not like me, and that's okay. All right, now I'm okay with that. I've grown to be okay with that. And once upon a time, when I was younger, that might have broken my heart, and I probably would have tried really hard to figure out what it is. But at this age, and this me, I don't give a good damn. I really don't. Because I'm not your cup of tea, but I'd be somebody else's cup of tea. And that's okay. I don't, honestly, if I'm nobody's cup of tea, that's all right by me too. I'm just saying. Because again, we live this life every day that we get up, and God gives us the ability to breathe. Okay. That's a new day, a new chapter, a new day. I can make new choices, different choice. If I choose to make the same choices that I made yesterday, last week, that's my choice. Again, we have an infinite number of them choices. However you choose, that's totally on you. But here's the thing. Um, you only die once. And I'm trying really hard not to die with no regrets. So if you don't like me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Yeah. I don't even want to know what you don't like about me. I don't care. Because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to change so you like me. So what is knowing what it is that you don't like about me going to do for me? Not a thing. It's not going to change how I feel about you. Because again, if I don't like you, or if I feel a way about you, there's a reason. Whether it's my intuition saying, take a step back, watch, or you did something to me. Either one, you're going to see a different me. And depending on what happened, will determine which me you'll get. Um, and it's never anything outlandish. I gave up my street fighting days a long time ago. So I don't throw hands. I think I had a group a conversation with a friend of mine. It's like, listen, if I gotta throw anything, it won't be my hands. Just saying. Not doing it. Not doing it. But I'm not gonna let anyone disrespect me either. And that's just not gonna happen. So if it comes to the laying of the hands, that shall be. Okay. But it's not my first go-to. So you good. You good. Again, I have grown. I have grown immensely, and that's a great thing. Um, I love what I do. I love who I am. I love the places I've been and the places I'm going. So I love the quote that I just heard, and I think I did a reel to it that, your name is being spoken in rooms that your feet haven't even been in yet. That's me. I'm claiming it. I'm owning it. Somebody talking about me in a room that I have no idea, but I'm going to get there. Just keep talking. Good things. All right. If you're talking smack, keep that over there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't. If you can't say it to my face, continue to say it behind my back. Because Lord knows we don't know what's going to happen if you say it in my face. Oh, again, I'm very good. It's okay. I digress. Because I didn't even. Yeah, I digress. Anyways, so yeah, tell me how you guys feel about the whole friends thing, okay? Um, because we friends and your mental health are very important. Whether it's a male friend, female friend, whatever. It is so important to have friends. It's good for your mental health. It's good to keep those synapses firing. It's just it's important for us as humans to have friendships and some sort of collective conversation and build your tribe. And I like to have on my computer, your vibe is your tribe, will attract your tribe. I think that's very really true, because my vibe, I'm all about being your authentic self, being kind to one another, having self-care. I'm a spiritual person. I don't subscribe to one particular religion. I'm really learning about my African roots and where we're from. So I am learning about the religion from there. Um, Post Christianity. Okay. No, pre Christianity. Post is after pre. See, my mind gets all jumbled up. I got so much stuff in here. So before Christianity, pre, right? I'm really learning about those pieces in the region of where my heritage is from. So I am not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. I know there's a higher being out there that is governing us. And again, I just subscribe to being kind to one another. And if you're human, I am going to be kind to you until you're unkind to me. Uh, so that's just the way I'm wired. Okay, I'm going to be kind to you until you're unkind to me, and then we'll be unkind together. That's how that goes. Okay. But yeah, so because that's the way I was raised, to treat people with kindness and respect. You respect me, I respect you, right? It's the way I raise my children. And so therefore that's where we are. But it's just really important to have those connections and friendships, to have that within your spouse as well. If I can't tell my spouse everything, why are you here? Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be my bestest of best friends. Okay. I shouldn't be hiding stuff from you. I shouldn't be scared to tell you things. Um, Now, there is some level of apprehension, right, that some of us do. We're like, "Well, I'm not gonna tell him today. I'll tell him tomorrow." let it marinate a little bit within us, before we share the information. But at some point, we will be talking about it, right? So, yeah, so it's just like you need those friendships. You need to cultivate those friendships, and we need to stop tearing each other down. I know you guys heard me say this before in different conversations in different rooms, but I'm going to continue to say it because we're constantly tearing each other down. We're constantly continuing to divide one another, and the general public is already keeping us divided. They are. They're already keeping us divided. And as the educator, I forgot her last name. Jane is her first name. But I see her older woman, white older woman, and she says it all the time. There's only one race, and that's the human race. Your color is not a race. It's a color. Okay? Color your skin. There's only one race, and that's the human race. So if we can ever get to that, I can't even say get back to that because we were never there. Let's be honest. We were never ever there. From the moment they came across and started stealing land and having genocide with natives, we were never there. Never. And it's funny, I was just watching, I know I'm digressing all over the place, but this is all relative. It's all relative. Um, I was watching, I think it was another Instagram thing that came on, and somebody was saying, when you come to this country, you should speak the language, the native language of that country. And so then it was a native Dene individual who was speaking in her native tongue. And I said, huh, then you should be speaking her language, right? We, as Black Americans, um, here we are. I'm not going to sit here and go into the whole history of slavery, but here we are. So yes, if we were to speak the native language, it would be of, Dene or, Apache, whatever tribes were in the regions of where we live. That's the native language. So yeah, so I don't co-sign on to that. I am not saying that we um I think if you live in a region, yes, you should learn to speak the language in that region, because if you want to have a conversation and cultivate a relationship with those individuals in that region, share your language so you can communicate. It's not saying one is better than the other and I have to speak this wholly in the no, but you want to communicate. Again, I'm all about cultivating friendships and connections. So I'm going to try to learn your language, just like I tried to learn a little bit of Spanish because my children's father was Puerto Rican. So yes, I did learn a little Spanish. So we can. I mean, he spoke English, you know, but so that my children knew where they came from, I did learn a little bit of Spanish. I wish I learned a little bit more, but now I the ball is in their court as they are older. They're learning to speak more Spanish, so that they can teach their children. So I love it. I just love people. I love culture. I love learning. I just love it. And if you guys see me and if I have like something on from Tibet, I might have something on from Nigeria, something on from the Middle East, in India. I had a sari one time and I wore sari. I have kente clothes. I have African garb. I wear that. I will embrace the culture because I love learning about the culture. It's a culture appreciation for me all the way. I am not appropriating a damn thing. It's all out of appreciation. So with that, I'm just gonna close it out with that because I don't friendships is important, and again, your vibe will bring your tribe, and yes, our vibe does attract other people as well because when your vibe is good and you got good vibrations, people want to be a part of that, right? So they tend to gravitate to you. But let's We got to learn when to kind of shake them off too, right? Shake them off and reset that vibe. Because sometimes when you attract to your tribe, your vibe, those that your vibe does attract sometimes don't always belong in your tribe. My tribe could vibe together. My tribe can vibe together. If I had everyone in my tribe, everyone that I call a friend, a sister, and a brother, all in one room, they would all vibe. That's the key. That's the key. If I took all my friends, sisters, brothers that I hold dear to my heart and placed them all in one room for a party, for a gather, whatever, they will all mix and mingle and vibe. That's a tribe. hmm And I love it. So, with that, I'm going to close it out this evening. And I thank you all for joining in. Thank you to WUBI Ubiquity listeners and watchers for being a part of the show. Please, if you have anything that you want to share, please send it to DC at thesoulfuleclectic.com or go on the website and fill out one of the comment cards on the soulfuleclectic.com as well. And again, if you have not downloaded the WUBI Ubiquity app on your phone or on Roku TV, please do so. What you waiting for? And share, 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 share. Again, I'm going to say it costs you nothing to share. Not a thing. All right. So, with that, I'm going to bid you all goodbye. Take care of each other. Please straighten those crowns of your brothers and sisters and your friends. Straighten those crowns. Stop knocking them off. The community outside is doing that enough. They don't need their inner circle to knock off their crown. Okay. And if you need to correct your friend, you can have their back. Like, they wrong. They wrong. Don't correct them out in public. Mm-mm. Be like, nah, sis, you were wrong. I had you though, but you were dead ass wrong. Just gonna say that. You were dead wrong. So what we gonna do? Because you can't keep doing that. That's how you do that. You don't be shouting your friends out in public. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. So please, please, again, take care of yourself, take care of each other. If you have not tried Divine Nubian Essentials, please do. DivineNubianEssentials.com. Check out the website. Give us a try. You either love it or you don't. Either way, you got to try it to find out. And also, Collins Education Resource Manager for anyone who is struggling with their nursing education and they need a little help. We are here. I always say that, and it makes me cringe when I hear students fail out of courses. I'm like, but you have my card, you have my number. Why didn't you reach out? Oh, I didn't know, and I didn't. No, there's no excuse. Give us a call, collinserm.com. We can help you out. All right. And what else do I need to tell you guys? I think that was it. Yeah. WBI is hitting. If you got any music that you want to hear, please send me a message as well. If you are writing, if you're a writer and you want to share your poems or any of your writing with us too, please do drop it on over and we get it up on our blog. Okay. And also, if there are any artists out there who want to get their music out, or you want to get a film that you've done and have it played, reach out. WUBI. We're looking for talent to showcase. So definitely let us know. Only if you are truly interested. Again, we're building we're building an exclusive radio and TV station where we encompass everybody. So let us know what you got. All right, we'll be happy to hear. So, with that, I just love you guys. Thank you again for joining me, and I appreciate you. So, continue to take care of yourself and each other. Namaste.